Hello and welcome back to this second video in tutorial 92, and if you didn't see part 1 then probably be a good idea to do so, but what we're doing is displaying in multi-chart scanner the last several high pivots. What we're going to do in this part of the program is, rather than just showing them in chronological order, we're going to add an input to the program so that the user has the choice as to whether to display these in chronological order or to display them based on their size. Okay, we're going to go back to the program that we were working on and we're going to make some changes to it. So the first thing that I want to do is create a new input. This is going to determine whether we sort the values or not. So I'm just going to call it sort. It's going to be a Boolean sort of input. In other words, it could be true or false. I'm going to set it to be false by default. It should be comma, and we're also going to need another array, because what I'm going to do is copy the array into another array and do the sort in this, as it were, temporary array. So I'm going to call this, declare this array, and we're just going to call it TMP array. And we need to set the size of that array. I'm going to do that using the array set max index. So I'm just going to copy that and put in the name of this array. And of course it's going to be the exact same size as the high pivots array. Okay, so we've done that. Let's get into the program, and the difference now is that when we find a new high pivot, the way we create our text to be displayed within the scanner or on a chart is going to change. So if we want it to remain as it is at the moment, then the sort is going to be false. So we can add a condition here. We're going to say if sort is equal to false, then begin, and the work that we did before is going to still stand. So let's just highlight that down to the bottom of this while statement, and I'm just going to press the tab key just to tab that in, and I'm going to say end, begin, end. But now we're going to have an else statement. In other words, this is if sort is equal to true, and again, we're going to need a begin and end. But we're going to do this in a slightly different way. So we're going to use the array copy capability. So I'm going to say value 3 equals array underscore copy. And we're going to be copying the high pivots array. You'll see here the text explaining what the various things are in this, 0 being the first element. We're going to copy it into the temp array starting at the 0th element, and the number of elements we're going to copy are number pivots. So we've now got an identical copy of high pivots stored in temp pivots. So we are not going to change anything in our high pivots array. Of course, we still need to know which was the most recent pivot. We don't want to commingle older ones with newer ones. So having done that, we're now going to array underscore sort the temp array. The number of elements we're going to sort are num pivots -1, or rather the maximum elements in the array is num pivots -1 because we're using the 0th element. And then having done that, we now need to go through this new sorted array. We can just use our counter again, but this time we're going to go from counter equals 0 to num pivots -1. Just going to copy that. This is somewhat simpler than the way we did it previously. So we're just going to say equals, and I think what I'll do is just copy this just to save a little bit of typing. Only we're not going to be using the high pivots array this time. We're going to be using the temp array, TMP array, like so. Same number of decimal places, and we need to end that little for statement and end this part of the program. Got one too many ends there, sorry about that. And then the rest of the program remains the same, including our plot statement. So let's verify this, see if we've made any typing errors. And if we just go view output bar, we'll see that I've left this program applied to the chart or the scanner. So what I'm going to do is just take care of that and then reapply this to the chart and the scanner, and we can test it. Okay, so the modified program is applied to the chart, and you'll see at the moment that the sort is set to false. That means that we're seeing the pivots in the order that they came. So the most recent here is 5652. The one before that is 56017. Then the one prior to that would be this one here, which is 1654. Now, if we were to go into the study and going to change the sort to true and say OK, I'm going to see that order change a little bit, because what we've got now is we've got the 1.55652 followed by the 1.55654 followed by the 1.56017. You can see that's in size order with the highest to the right, and of course that would equally apply in the scanner. So at the moment the order is set to false. If we were to click one of these and format this for all instruments, let's change it to true, we're going to see the order change. So let's look at that for, say, the Apple here. So we've got 48866, 49543 and 49688, so the largest towards the right. Okay, incidentally, this can also be applied in TradeStation. I'm going to actually include both the TradeStation ELD and the multi-charts file. And also, incidentally, if you do want to show more values, so let's just say we're going to look for 5, most recent 5 high pivots. What you would then do in this column is right click and say fit to text. Then you'll see more values appearing in the column. Okay, so as I say, in the downloadable version, I'm going to include the low pivots. The downloadable version also includes a lot of comments that I've added to try and explain the program a little bit more. And as I say, I will provide it in both TradeStation and multi-charts formats. So hopefully you might find this useful. Thank you.